Hey, today the GSC devs have just dropped a brand new patch that fixes crashing, quest bugs, and even performance as well. We're going to talk about that and so much more in today's video. If you'd like to support the channel, please hit the like button below at any point, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Alrighty, today we just got a 13GB update that improves performance and also fixes quite a few crashes and quest bugs. We can see right here at the top it says patch 1.01 is live, and then there's over 650 fixes including quest blockers, memory leaks, crashes, and minor bugs. As you can see right here at the top, first and foremost it says this: attention stalkers, thanks for your passion and support since the release. It is really important to us. The patch 1.0.1 is live both on PC and Xbox. This is our first patch that addressed over 650 different bugs and issues. Here is the list of major updates for the game. With that said, if you go ahead and take a look at the first list here for the AI fixes, they fixed a group of NPCs getting stuck and dying near a shelter during active emission. Yeah, so that one did suck quite a lot when it happened, but the next issue that they resolved is interesting and also good that they fixed. So they wrote this: fixed issue where Burr could drop any mission items out of the player's hands, added missing sound effects for Burr's telekinesis ability. Yep, they've done that. Then continuing along, it says fixed issue with NPCs occasionally getting stuck and not reaching the mission location. This might have caused inability to interact with NPCs or progress to the next mission stage due to idle behavior of mission NPC. I think I had that happen. I won't spoil anything, but I did have that happen to me in a specific quest. Continuing along for AI fixes, they wrote this: fix issues with performance drops, potential out-of-memory crashes in hubs and locations crowded with NPCs during long play sessions. Fix issue when NPCs would move to a pose or start flying after death. And last but not least, fix issue when NPC could not track whether a target in cover was covered from shots, which caused them to shoot into cover. Not only did they resolve those 7 issues, they also resolved 20 different issues with AI, so just letting you know about that as well. What's great about this specific part here, they also fixed some issues with performance drops with the AI, so that's interesting as well. Speaking of performance, they also have some optimization fixes. They wrote this: fix issue with invisible NPC mutants appearing in field of view while the player is scoping. Fix fire visual effects that were not rendering at certain camera angles. Also, we fixed approximately 100 different crashes, including potential memory leaks and exception access violation issues. Yes, finally, so now there should not be any issues with memory leaks because, man, those pesky memory leaks were just annoying, and I had experienced it quite a lot, as well as I'm sure you guys have as well. Now, just know they did mention that they have potentially fixed some of the memory leaks, so there could be some more issues going on there. I personally haven't noticed it just yet. So if you are still experiencing it, give the developers enough time and they might just finally resolve all the issues with that. But as of right now, this right here is still some good news. Next up, we have audio and sound fixes. I will say this right here is somewhat of a big issue. I remember, playing the campaign because I just completed recently, but I remember or recall playing the campaign and there were points where the audio would just shut off and I couldn't hear the actual audio coming from the characters or NPCs. It was quite strange. But regardless of that, they posted this and wrote, fix issue when combat music was still playing while combat was finished, and 7 other minor audio and sound bugs. I wonder if those minor audio and sound bugs are related to the issues I just brought up a few seconds ago. Maybe so, maybe not. But let me know if you have experienced that issue as well. Okay, so right after audio and sound fixes, we have balance adjustments. Weapon and armor repair cost is decreased, thank goodness. Because, man, it was quite brutal. I don't know if I'm being a wimp about it, but it felt quite brutal. The next one is significantly increased cost of artifacts, more revenue from selling. Even better, just more money, more revenue. I love that as well. The third note on the list, decreased Bloodsucker's strike protection rank, more damage from guns. So this way they're not as much as a bullet sponge, right? Sometimes some of the enemies are quite spongy. Speaking of which, they continued on to say, reduce Bloodsucker's HP regeneration outside the combat. Controller HP is moderately reduced. Burr's HP is moderately reduced. Boar HP is moderately reduced. Flesh HP is moderately reduced. Damage to Boar from headshots changed to 100% of body damage. Damage to Boar from shots to the limbs is increased. Damage to flesh from shots to the limbs is increased. And the last two here are significantly increased weapon melee distance, slightly increased knife melee distance. Well, as you can see, they reduced quite a lot of the HP from most of the enemies, and man, it was quite brutal. It truly was. You would have to inflict a lot of damage to take out most of the enemies. Now, some of the, other enemies haven't been reduced just yet, but this is better than nothing, honestly. I should have probably waited for this update to come out before completing the campaign, but hey, I can always do another run through, right? I can always play again, so I might just do that. Moving along towards Gamepad Input, they've actually increased the Gamepad Dead zones for you guys out there on controller. That might be useful for you. They've got characters here for the next fix. They fixed eyes and teeth on NPC models, and some minor fixes of NPC models and animations. I've noticed some enemies are kind of merged together at some points. I don't know if that's going to fix that issue alone, but those are some solid fixes. Now moving along, we have cutscenes, and they wrote this: added missing footage to TV displays in the final cutscenes, fixed issue with deer animation in the opening cutscenes, and 20 other different bugs in the cutscenes. Amazing. So that right there can actually ruin some of the gameplay, right? You finally get to a cutscene, you want to enjoy it, there's a bunch of bugs happening, and yeah, that kind of sucks. But now, a lot of the animations should be resolved, and that's incredible. So great work by GSC. Not only did they resolve those issues, but they also fixed some issues for the game settings and menus. Right here, they wrote, adjusted unreadable text at the bottom of shader, fixed issues with the NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency option not being saved or subsequent boots of the game, and 10 more minor issues. That right there is some great news for us on PC. Next up, we have Intractable Objects. I'm going to briefly go over this. So they fixed some physics issues with the destructible and movable objects, including those floating in the air. Fixed interaction prompt with glass doors, which also caused walkthrough blockers. They also fixed a missing inner doors with the X11 laboratory elevators and more minor bugs. Speaking of X11, I don't believe this is the elevator, maybe it is, but there's a point at the end of the mission where if you go towards the wrong elevator, it will actually block you from going back up, and so you have to revert to an older save. It's incredibly frustrating, but maybe that's been resolved. Speaking of missions, oh boy, they fixed quite a few missions here. I mean, it's a lot. So they fixed missing interaction with dead blind dogs in Nightingale's Hunt mission, fixed uncompletable objects in Seek and You Shall Find missions. They fixed multiple issues with There and Back Again missions, including one where the artifact couldn't be found. Not only that, they also fixed a dialogue loop in the Needle Haystack mission, so that's amazing right there. They also fixed some progression blockers with the Answer Comes at a Price mission. So to kind of just go through this all, this is what they wrote all the way down. Fixed door-related issues in the Search of a Guide mission and the Side Hustle mission. Fixed issues when cutscene does not start during the Just Like the Good Old Days mission. Fixed issues with Lojushka is missing in Quiet Camp during the Just Like the Good Old Days mission. Fixed an issue during Just Like the Good Old Days when Lojushka acts aggressively after bringing him the emitter. It is now possible to turn off electricity in the flooded area during the To the Last Drop of Blood mission. Fixed multiple issues with the On the Edge mission, including idle NPCs, stuck doors, and the monolith attack progression. Fixed progression blockers in the A minor incident mission, including issues with collars and locked doors. Address performance drops and confusing objectives in the Search of Past Glory mission. Fixed issues in the Vision of Truth mission, including stuck NPCs and block progression after dialogues. Resolve stuck cutscenes and block progression in the Dangerous Visitors, Great Last Hunt, and the Eternal Shining missions. Corrected spawn behaviors for NPCs and enemies in the Boundary and Escape from the Cage mission. Tweaked missions like Down Below, Bodemo, and a big score to resolve stuck NPCs, misaligned markers, and missing dialogue options. And then lastly, they wrote, and approximately 120 other issues with the main line, side missions, and encounters. Again, I'm going to say it here, this is incredible. They patched so many bugs, so many issues with missions, and the game was just released recently, and they did all this within the time. Incredible job. Now continuing along with open world experience, they wrote this: fixed stretch or missing limbs on humanoid corpses. Fixed missing fast travel routes, including the concrete plant for Toadstool. resolve issues with loudspeakers, fast travel, and NPC interactions in various locations, such as the scientist bunkers and chemical plant. Adjusted hostile NPC behavior during the arena missions, including bandits' tactics and increased ammo for the tyrant fight. Corrected mission progressions in the Black Sheep and the Key to Freedom's missions, and approximately 50 other issues were fixed. So essentially, those are some of the missions and some of the other type of NPCs and stuff. It's kind of like a whole entire thing combined together there. They fixed several things. Now for player guidance, gear, and weapons, the developers wrote this: fixed a bug that allows to sell items to the traders for more money that they actually cost. Fixed input blocking issues with the PDA, inventory, and attachments when interacting with artifacts. Corrected flashlight behavior after saving loading. Resolve issues with grenade type selection, compass marker overlaps, and missing mission markers. Fix inconsistencies with weapons and armor upgrade effects, including pricing and upgrade reversals. Improved HUD behavior and prolonged the duration of point of no return hints during down below missions. Fixed a bug where players could sell mission items using Gamepad, and approximately 50 minor anomalies. So this again here kind of goes hand in hand with mission fixes, items fixed, NPCs, a bunch of things. So it's another one where they just kind of went into more details. Next, we have voices and facial animations. They basically restored missing facial animations for Sava in the Hot and Trail mission and Mugwort in the Internal Shiny missions. They also fixed the missing voice lines in the Let No One Leave Unsatisfied missions, and they corrected some radio call effects, basically with NPCs. And I think that one right there is where it would cut in, like you would hear the radio sound, and then you would hear it as if they were right next to you. It was strange. And they also said a couple of more things are fixed with those issues. So again, amazing work. Last but not least, we have World. They fixed several issues where there was some flickering going on with the walls and whatnot, including the Spear, military base, and chemical plant. Not only did they fix those issues, but they also resolved some movement issues in certain missions, like Once More Onto the Breach and A Tough Awakening. They also corrected artifact spawning points. They also fixed some NPC behaviors, adjusted voice volume during storm weather to improve audio balance, and approximately 50 more bugs. So a lot of issues have been resolved across the board with this new update. And if you haven't done so, download it right now, because yes, the update is available right now. You can download it on Steam or on your Xbox. So do it now, download it, try it out. Let me know what you think about it. Also, if you guys would like to be featured in the next video, comment down below, because I've been doing it for such a long time on Helldivers 2. And now I'm going to do it on Stalker 2. So let me know. Also, if you guys do watch my Helldivers 2 videos, I will be creating more videos here soon. So yeah, thank you guys for checking out the video. Give this video a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video.